Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of the IGN India podcast.
We got that right this time.
Yes, I've been training over the holidays.
Also, it's the first podcast episode of 2019.
Yes, it is. We've all had our breaks, played a lot of games, ate a lot of meat, which I shouldn't say here.
You ate meat, I ate meat.
Rishabh is somewhere eating meat currently.
I assume.
I guess. He's not there for this episode. It's been, we've not got much news of late.
No, news is pretty weird. Like
Everyone's
sparse.
on holiday.
The gaming industry is like taking a month off or something at
That's
this point.
true. We're the only idiots sitting here working.
Quote unquote working by playing video games.
Yeah,
We've been playing
yeah.
some video games last month.
Just catching up on the games we could not finish last year.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Here and there. I've been playing Smash. Mostly
That's
Smash.
true.
Just play
I
Smash.
have been playing State of Decay 2. I actually want to talk a lot about that.
That's a fun game.
It is a fun game, and I feel like I played it a bit too late. It probably would have made my top 10.
Yeah, I think, you liked it when I gave you the controller for a few hours.
Yeah, it was
When you
fun,
first got
and
it.
then I dropped off for a bit. But off late, I've been getting into it full on.
Yeah.
Like the weekend, I just played on Friday, and then 2-day weekend, I was just thinking about when I can take out the next Plague Heart. Yeah,
I told you you should have taken the work Xbox home just to play more of that game.
I don't think I can do that. And either way, it's just too much to work, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to when I come back
it's a
to
really,
work.
really good game. I like how systems driven it is. Like there is this weird, sparse narrative. Like okay, there are 10 plague hearts in your area. Destroy them, and then you have these whole leadership quests to finish.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things about it is that they do give you character specific missions, but
Yeah.
they're not missions that I have to do.
Exactly. I think that's to the game's credit, honestly.
Yeah, so I pretty much do what I want. I just scope out one area. Okay, I'm going to go around, scavenge around this area. Or today I'm going to take out one plague heart. Or today I'm going to try and stock up on food or meds.
Yeah.
I really like that the game actually creates a lot of tense situations. Like
Through gameplay alone, I like that.
Yeah.
Writing has nothing to do. It's just the tense situations.
so
you're in
last
because of
week,
gameplay.
so last week my food was down to like 1, and my meds were 2. But then just finishing off one plague heart gave me like a bunch of food.
Yeah, and like you're consuming like 3 foods a day and 2
Yeah,
meds a
yeah.
day.
So that's the thing. It creates these tough situations, and then you get by them on your own.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much everything is going to shit as you expect in a zombie
Zombie
apocalypse.
apocalypse. That's constant. It's a constant state of decay,
Decay.
as it were. Yeah. Your resources are decaying all the time.
Pretty much. I like what they've done with the zombies also. I mean, you have your typical zombies.
So these, I think, are closer to rather than the slow-moving Night of the Living Dead kind of zombies. These are closer to the Left-4 Dead style fast.
yeah,
zombies.
they're definitely runners.
Yeah.
So you have your normal runners, you have your infected runners who
Yeah.
can give your guys diseases and shit like that.
The blood plague carriers.
Then you have screamers who are essentially just that. They
Just
scream and
homing
call
beacons for more
zombies. You have ferals who are like these really fast,
super fast,
strong
kind of,
guys who can fuck
on
you
all
up.
fours, running on all fours.
And
Kind
then
of
the biggest bastards of them all, the juggernauts.
also the bloaters.
Oh yeah, the bloaters. Yeah, they just explode and poison you. I don't really care for them.
But like you hotboxed
just-
in their gas in
Yeah.
the car so many times because you ran
Yeah,
over
so the
one
bloaters,
accidentally.
and then finally you have the juggernauts who are the biggest fuckbags in the whole bloody game. The game makes killing zombies actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the melee is like really meaty.
Yeah, you can. They have a nice sound when you chop through a zombie.
There's a thunk to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Especially when you're using a blunt weapon.
Also, when you run over a zombie with your car, so there's a special button to open your
yeah,
door.
leave your door open.
Yeah, and that is actually very satisfying.
in fact, like if you have allies with you, they'll
automatically open the door. Yeah, that's
their
true.
side,
So yeah, one example of how this game can totally mess you up. I was talking about the bloaters and the juggernauts.
Yeah.
So I was just making a routine scavenging mission and just heading back to camp, when one bloater just came in my way, and so when they explode, they give out this gas of poisonous, cloud of poisonous gas rather. And if you run over them in the car, it gets into the car and you have to get out.
Yeah.
So that happened, and as soon as I got out, there were 2 ferals and a fucking juggernaut hunting me down.
Did you survive that?
The character I was playing survived. The companion did not. I've lost one person
that's
up
a
to
shame.
now.
That's a
I
great
actually liked that person. I actually have this very annoying person who I actually want to get rid of.
Yeah. That's the thing I really like about this game, where the injuries your characters can get are very, very real. Like if they suffered from asphyxiation from being around a bloater too much, their health bar and the stamina bar take a hit for a while until their lungs get better. That kind of stuff. Like if you're, I've had this happen like accidentally while fumbling while using a ladder. My cat fell down from a sign and ankle broke. So like that not only gave me a limit to my health, I couldn't sprint for a while.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, the character traits is something really interesting. So
They're very real world traits that have these mechanical values to them. Which
and then eventually in the zombie apocalypse, they go on to become something else.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's kind of closely related to the traits they have.
No, I mean, eventually someone might become a warlord.
Yeah.
After being a chartered accountant.
After being a chartered accountant that wrote fanfic in their spare time.
Yeah, so their real world traits actually make a lot of sense. So if one person was an Olympic shooter, that's actually pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Somebody liked playing extreme frisbee, so their stamina is much better.
Yeah. Like someone with the nosy trait.
Yes.
They can search through things faster.
Yeah. So that is the example of the person I actually want to get rid of. She has a nosy trait, and because of that trait, the rest of my gang actually get annoyed with her a lot.
Yeah,
so my morale goes down.
She's actually accidentally starting a lot of fights.
Yeah. But the problem is, like, even though I want to get rid of her, unfortunately, she's one of my highest level characters.
Yeah. So that's going to be a big hit
she has a really good sneak statistic, which none of my other guys have. So I really need to keep her around for like missions in which I require stealth. But yeah, overall, it's been a great game. I've been like, you've seen that I've been coding on it for a while.
Non-stop for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
now.
so that's what I love. I love giving myself the objectives of, okay, today I'll clear out these houses or this area. Today I'm just gonna scavenge. Today I'm gonna go after a plague heart. It's a game I can play at my own free will.
I want to
and
at
take
some
my own
point
time
like,
with.
try out the co-op on that thing, because I think it's a shame that there's no split screen co-op, because this game seems like it would be ideal for it. Like, you know, you're always going around with a companion, so like let another player just switch on his controller and take command of the companion.
Yeah, you know, that will actually help a lot in destroying plague hearts.
In general, I'd see it as I imagine being a lot of fun, because like then you can also carry twice the rucksacks.
Exactly. Right? But something very weird they done with their co-op is the resource collecting.
Yeah, so the person with, who's the host, they get the resources, but then like all the smaller stuff goes to the helper.
Yeah, it's very weird.
It's kind of weird, but like I think that's kind of what the trade-off is when you have this kind of game where you have to manage a base.
I think they could have done it a bit better though.
I think the big issue was the base, honestly, because like, you know, how else do you split up the resources, right? Otherwise, like you'd have people just going in a co-op mission and just doing nothing.
That's
and they
true.
get free resources.
That's true. Is it? You've not tried the co-op?
I have not tried the co-op at all. I think I as much as I like the idea of co-op, I think I would have preferred it in a split screen setting more than
yeah, that would make sense.
And I think like when it comes to online, I'd rather just be by myself and play.
Yeah. No, so where I would love co-op is when I'm hunting down a plague heart.
Yeah.
So plague hearts are essentially this weird growth that forms.
Yeah, and those are basically the quote-unquote story objectives for the game.
Yeah, you just have to kill 10 plague hearts and you're done.
Yeah.
You're not done, but that's the main story mission done, and then you can, there's a post-game mode and all of that.
You know, of all things, I thought you would find some issue with like you would dislike the base management bit of the game.
I actually don't.
Yeah.
I actually like it, but it's actually very simple.
It kind of looks complicated.
It looked complicated
way
at
more
first.
complicated than it actually
Like
is.
I needed some help from you to manage some stuff, but once I got a hang of it, it gets pretty simple. The game doesn't do much to actually explain it to you. I wish
In
they
general,
could
like
have.
a lot of these quote-unquote tutorials, the game has just like three pictures.
Three pictures.
One line under each.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
that's
really useful.
And there are a lot of mechanics which you'll never find out unless you actually go and look into each thing.
Yeah.
Like the menu is just so loaded with things that you might miss out on so much more. So what I don't know whether I like hunting for plague hearts or no, because if you take a companion with you, it's good, because once you start hacking at a plague heart, which is essentially a growth growing in some particular
Spawning
place.
plague zombies.
Yeah. Your companion has your back most of the time.
Yeah.
But then again, he tries to go and hack at the plague heart with a melee weapon, making it hard for you to throw molotovs at him.
Yeah.
So
I've seen your misadventure with Molotovs.
it's annoying. Like, And it's tough to get an opening to throw shit at the plague heart because otherwise there are zombies all over. So when I have an opening, I either have one moron recruit hacking at something with a knife.
Yeah, and like the game actually makes it a point to tell you that like melee weapons aren't all that useful against plague hearts.
No, of
you
course
need to
they're
like
not, yeah.
do this stuff with explosives and fire and guns if you have the bullets for it.
So exactly, so that's the thing. I've had very varying different experiences with plague hearts.
Yeah.
The first one I fought was like normal. I had to shoot it a bit.
I think that was like a bit on the easier side also because the game's like slowly introducing you to
Yeah,
this
so that was like the first plague heart. But then later on, I found this one plague heart which I had to take 3 tries, like to try and make sure that okay, my guys don't die. They come back all diseased and broken limbed and all.
Yeah.
But then one after that, I had like 4 Molotovs. I just tossed them one by one and it was done. And the good thing is like if you get like a few second opening,
Yeah.
that's all you need because once you do that, the zombies just like disperse or disappear or despawn, whatever they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall it's a great game. I wish I played it a bit earlier.
I wish more people in general would play it. I think the fact that it's not on Steam, like the only way you
Yeah.
can get it on PC is through the Windows 10 App Store, is a big disservice. But on the other hand, like if you have Games Pass, even though the PC offerings are a bit weak right now, if you have Games Pass, it's part of Games Pass. You don't have to buy it at all.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a really, really good game. Like if you have an Xbox, this is like one of the games you need to play on your Xbox.
Most definitely. And it's a game you can play anytime. You can play you don't need to worry about.
You can literally like, okay, I'm gonna play half an hour of State of Decay, hop into the game, have an objective in mind, and do
Yes,
things in half
yes.
an hour. Like
So
you'll be rewarded for your half an hour. It's not gonna be
Exactly.
wasted. You'll have a story to tell at the end of your half an hour.
Most definitely, yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
I have been playing a couple of games, a lot of Smash with my friends. I've unlocked all the characters.
That's nice.
I've I think I'm close to around 80 hours and just playing
Just playing Smash.
Yeah, with my friends. That's it. Like, I'm really liking this game, Vaswan. Like, it's a very simple fighting game. Like, for those of you who don't know what it is, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the latest version release of the Smash franchise on the Switch. Came out earlier this month. It's basically in a genre. It created the genre, I would say, called platform fighters, where even though it's a fighting game, the goal isn't to reduce your opponent's health, it's to hit them hard enough so that they fall off the stage and can't get back up. It's very simple.
It's been like that for years.
Yeah, and the controls are very simple. Instead of the Street Fighter and Tekken like complicated combos, you just have like, okay, there's a button for special attacks, there's a button for normal attacks. And like if you pair the button with the direction, you'll do a different special attack.
And yet I find it a bit complicated.
It's got a lot of depth to it, definitely. And I think a big part of why you might find it complicated is because there's just a lot going on the screen.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Shunal. It's not that. It's just that each character, like with each combination, does something different.
Yeah, like I mean, every character has to be different. Like
no, I agree. Like each character has to be different, but that's where it. See, for a guy like me, like I know, like let's say half the roster. The other half I don't
think
know.
You know more than half. You played.
Around more than
Mario.
half. Yeah, and. The issue which I face is that as a casual player, as someone who plays Smash on your Switch, I don't know what, if I choose a random character, I don't know what he'll do. Whereas a game like...
I think the thing is about Smash, like any fighting game, honestly, it comes down to the fact that it's a fighting game, I think, because like you have to pick a main character and then like get better at it,
Sure, but that's the thing. Smash, it is a fighting game, but it's a fun fighting game where you wouldn't mind taking it to anyone.
That's true.
So
that's also true.
That's where I feel
kind of on the fence thing about like, okay, this is this casual thing with like every video game character ever, but also there's this hidden depth to it, which puts it on the more hardcore style.
As opposed to Dragon Ball FighterZ, where I have my 3 mains, and then whoever else I take. In this game, I prefer, like, it's usually a more fun sit down on the couch, laid back type, rather than Dragon Ball Z, which makes me sit and sweat while I'm fighting. And the fact that the random characters I pick do very, very, very different things with each button confuses the hell out of me.
Again, I think that goes back to the fact that despite its appearance and tone, it is still a fighting game, and that would demand like a bit of practice on your like. You have to pick a character and you have to get good at the character if you want to if you want any actual sense of progression in that game.
I guess I can see the appeal behind it, but it's just
me and my friends have been having a complete blast with it. We've all got our mains picked out. One of my friends for some reason made the mistake of picking Yoshi as his main. And so
why? Okay, I played as Yoshi. It was terrible.
Yeah, to be fair, Yoshi is a good character, but like it's Yoshi.
Yeah.
He is Shigeru
Is
Miyamoto's
Yoshi
mistake.
He or a she?
It is Shigeru Miyamoto's mistake. Yoshi should have never been made.
Hey, I like
Even
Yoshi.
Mario, when riding Yoshi in his game, slaps Yoshi on the back of the head every time he wants to jump.
And then jumps off while he's almost falling down a
Exactly.
pit. Yeah, I like Yoshi. I like Yoshi in Super Mario World.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to dislike something from basically one of the greatest side-scrolling platformers of all
That's
time.
true.
So there's that, and I've also been playing another game that you also have zero interest in, Exapunks.
Ah, yeah.
It's the latest.
I'm gonna let you totally go with
It's
this.
the latest puzzle game by Exapunks, a developer known for making these very hardcore, intricate puzzle games where the solution ends up being some form of visual programming, either like by directly typing code in or like just making factory conveyor belts. It's weird, it's cool, it's got this cyberpunk aesthetic. So Exapunks actually has its own programming language which you're using to hack into things. The second proper mission after tutorial is hack into your own arm.
Ah. So do I need to know coding to play this game?
You just need to know how computers work, honestly, because this game has its own programming language.
I put on the on switch and
No, I mean like things
It
like
boots
what
automatically.
is a variable, something to store data in that you can access at a later point. That kind of stuff. That like just basics. Like the basic thing being a computer is very stupid. It will only do precisely what you will tell it to do. You can never make assumptions about what a computer is going to do.
I'm gonna act like I know what you're talking about.
That kind of stuff. So it has its own programming language that's very simple. Like to get basically programming these tiny robots inside computers, and to get them to go from
Like Terminator 3.
okay, to get them to go from one part of a computer to another, the command is link. That's it. It's very simple, like one word coding. It's got the game gives you PDFs which teach you how to program, but it's not just a dry document.
My God.
It's not a dry document. It's actually like an in-universe cyberpunk magazine by and for hackers. And it's got these fake ads for these old 80s style microcomputers.
Yeah, sort of like Red Dead.
No.
Sort of.
How?
The Red Dead, the catalogs in Red
You
Dead.
didn't have computers in Red Dead.
Yeah, but
You didn't hack
sort
your
of
own arm.
similar. They had fake.
You didn't
they had
hack your
fake-
own
They had
arm in
fake
Red Dead.
ads and shit like that.
You didn't hack your own arm in Red Dead.
I mean, you could hack it off.
You could you?
Maybe in online.
What is this?
I don't know.
127 Red Dead Redemption?
No. Probably in Red Dead Online.
But I will say like even after you finish the tutorials, I've had problem with the tutorials. Like I've had to figure.
Oh, yeah, I saw you and Rishabh discussing.
Yeah. I've had to stare at the screen for like half an hour. It took me like a whole train ride from Churchgate to Borivali, which is literally one end of Bombay to another. Figuring out a puzzle in the train with my laptop on, like switched on and playing Exapunks. It's really good. Like I wouldn't recommend this to anybody because it's a hardcore puzzle game. It's crazy difficult, but it's got like the highest high you can get, like the satisfaction when you figure out a puzzle.
So who would you recommend this game to?
People who like puzzle games, not even like just programmers.
I like puzzle games, but I
think if you gave it a shot, if you gave it like an hour or so, you would actually like it. It's got this style to it that's pretty cool. There's this AI who's constantly talking to you. The story is dumb as hell. Your character's turning into a computer and he needs medication to help stop it. That kind of stuff. But like, I think even you like puzzles. If you like puzzles, if you give this like a fair shot, I think you might actually like it. The whole idea of programming is what's putting you off.
yes. Okay, maybe after I kill my 10th plague heart. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see.
Been playing anything else?
Just older games here and there, fighters here and there.
I
did a
tried-
hunt yesterday.
Oh wow. Yeah, we've been meaning to get back into Monster Hunter
Yeah.
for a while, just not been able to. Either you're busy or I'm busy.
I've actually been spending more time just not picking up my controllers and just watching stuff instead.
Me too, actually. This is taking advantage of the video game break that we have.
Yeah. So like after finishing Sabrina, loved that show, hated that Christmas
Oh yeah, the
special.
Christmas special was just terrible.
Really, really bad and boring and long.
Yeah, they made it. Okay, so what I liked about Sabrina is it stems from a kid's cartoon / comic, whatever.
Comic
and they
slash
made
cartoon
it,
slash
and they
live
made
action
it, yeah,
sitcom.
and they made it such that people who read it then would like it now as adults.
It's
So they
really
it's gory, it's scary
Dark,
sometimes,
and
it's
it's got
dark.
the right
yeah.
amount of camp to it.
Yes, yes.
That all that stuff comes together very well in that show.
But the Christmas special, yeah, it was very childlike.
it was childlike. It was too long, I think.
Yeah.
It's too long. I don't know. It's the same length as every other episode, but it's just so boring that it felt longer than it actually was.
Yeah, did
Every
like it
other
too
episode
much.
hooked me from like minute 1 to
Yeah, the last episode was
last
really
episode
nice.
especially. Yeah, I want to see where they go with that cliffhanger. But okay, so after watching that, after being disappointed by that finale, not finale, sorry, the Christmas special, I felt like watching some more urban fantasy teen drama stuff, so I started watching Buffy again.
Oh yeah, you've been going on your Buffy and Angel.
Yeah. So Buffy, and then like one thing led to another, and I'm watching Angel more earnestly than I'm watching Buffy. Like Buffy's on pause while I go through Angel again.
That's nice.
Because I think Angel is a far superior show, and that show's still really fun. There's this weird contrast between Buffy and Angel that's like under the surface that very few people seem to realize, I think.
I was a kid when I watched both of those. I don't remember.
Buffy is more about teen life and high school life and teen drama and all that stuff, and like even the big supernatural story arcs kind of reflect that in a way. Like in the second season, when she sleeps with Angel and his soul goes away because of his curse, he becomes this evil asshole and jealous.
Sure.
And he's the villain of that story arc, and that's kind of supposed to be like a metaphor for like when you're in teenagers, like once you sleep with someone, they start growing more distant from you and start being a complete.
Moral of the story: don't sleep with people in your teenagers.
Well, definitely yes, it'll cause you to lose your soul.
That's what.
But then, like I think Angel has this other side to it that Buffy doesn't, which I appreciate much more now as a
Leather
adult.
trench coats.
Trench coats, goofy comedy, and Angel story arcs tend to take on much more of like an adult fear kind of angle to it.
Sure.
Like things more adults can sympathize with than teenagers would. Like stuff like the idea of like your child is born but then it's getting kidnapped by these demons. That kind of stuff is more what Angel's tackling.
Yep, adult fears.
Yeah.
Child kidnapping by demons.
Yeah.
A lot of people are plagued with that nowadays.
The whole like finding your place in the world once you reach adulthood, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of topic that Angel handles. And Angel's, I think, much goofier than Buffy despite its darker tones.
All right.
Yeah, it's like the big running joke in the series is Angel has a massive forehead, but he doesn't realize it because he can't see his reflections in mirrors. But everyone keeps pointing it out. That kind of stuff.
All right. So I tried out this new show based on a friend's recommendation.
Yeah.
It's called You. Y-O-U-U.
Me.
Yes, you.
Yay.
It's about a stalker in its simplest sense. So this guy who is really, really smart.
Yeah.
He works at a bookstore.
Yeah.
So he is very well read. Meets a girl and essentially stalks her. And stalks her not just from a distance, but stalks his way into her life.
Oh, okay.
So he removes any barriers that he might face,
Yeah.
including people.
Like what genre would you call this? Like, is it like a?
It's weirdly okay.
Is it a drama? Is it like a dark?
It's a bit like
gallows humor comedy. Like,
it's a bit like Gossip Girl.
I've never seen Gossip Girl, so I couldn't.
I know what it's about. So, adultish, teenish drama.
Okay.
Like
Kind of
teen
soapish.
drama with an adult
Kind
vibe.
of soap opera-ish, but not really a soap opera-ish.
That's the thing. I don't know where I can put it. So it has.
I mean, it doesn't have to belong in a box.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I like the character,
Yeah.
the main character, the protagonist, who is the stalker. He is.
Is he really a protagonist?
The main guy. So yeah, he's constant. Like you are constantly feeling like, how far can he go without it being not okay?
I mean,
That's the way. I mean,
he's stalking someone. I don't think.
in general, it gives you this weird dilemma. Like he is good for her as a guy,
he's still kind of.
but he
forcing
stalked his way into.
her,
Yeah,
he's
that's
forcing his way into her
that's the
life.
dilemma it gives you. But I didn't end up finishing it because it just got really stupid and trashy. Yeah, like Gossip Girl, essentially.
Of course, like a lot of dramas that try to do that.
Yeah, but it was very unrealistic in a way that this girl lives on the ground floor of a New York apartment which is huge. Apparently, that's a student apartment.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah,
like
and
people living in like sitcom apartments. That's the
yeah,
call.
it's a sitcom apartment, but
I
it's
think,
supposed to be a student apartment. And there are gigantic windows and no curtains. So she's walking around in her towel and he's just standing opposite the street and looking at her.
That's the stupidest thing. I think TV tropes calls it friends rent control.
Probably, yeah. No, not just that. Like she has no curtains.
That's dumb. It's one of the first things.
Like he
I
watches her do everything through that
If I'm
window.
living on the ground floor, I'm going to get curtains.
Oh hell yeah! Everyone is going to get curtains. So he can see everything the girl is doing into a house, including sex, including drugs. This girl also does not believe in locking her phone, which is very weird.
Phones auto lock now, so
Yeah, but apparently she has disabled that. Like they make it a point to mention that she has not put in the lock system.
she's a very stupid girl.
So then, when she loses,
Quote unquote.
quote unquote, loses her phone,
Yeah.
he has access to everything. And so when she gets her new phone, everything is saved on the cloud, and she doesn't even change her password.
Fantastic.
And they made a stupid reason why she believes in keeping the same password. It's such rubbish
This
for
sounds
the
like
sake of the plot.
This sounds like an interesting premise that's not been done well. Like, so it's been
So-
done by very stupid.
It starts off really
Execution.
nicely.
Yeah.
There are some really nice twists which come here and there, but then it didn't do much to keep me there. So yeah, I mean, as you said, it's a nice premise, but then the stuff they
The
just
execution doesn't do
force,
justice. Yeah.
the stuff they just force into it is quite stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually, after I finished Buffy and Angel, I've been thinking of like maybe rewatching Arrested Development. I'm in the mood for something with an ensemble cast because Buffy and Angel do such fantastic jobs.
well,
with
now
them.
that you mentioned that, I have also been watching The Office.
I'm not a fan of that show.
I actually really
A lot of
like
people will have already yelled at me about this. Have been very angry at me about it, but it's not my kind of show. I
Yeah.
can see the appeal. It's just not for me.
Sure,
not
I
my
mean
kind of
this.
comedy.
I had watched a bit of The Office long back, but I never fully ran through it, and I'm almost done with it now. I'm on like season 7.
The last time I watched it up till season 7, I think, when Steve Carell's character leaves the company.
So I've seen a bit after Steve Carell's character leaving, Michael Scott leaving,
Yeah.
and it's still pretty good. People have always said that it sucked afterwards, but I've still found it pretty good. Like the humor is actually pretty
Fair
good.
enough.
And this actually, after this, it's given me like I feel like watching Parks and Rec after.
So
This.
Parks and Rec, I wholeheartedly recommend it. Like it's one of my favorite comedies. It's really good. I'd just say skip the first season.
All right, will do.
Yeah.
That's all for what we're watching, I guess. Anything else, Shunal?
Nothing else. Like,
That's all for what
trying
we're-
to think about it, and nothing else. No.
Anything else you're playing?
Well, I plan to be playing Super Mario Party today for the first time.
By the way, on the day we're recording it, it's 31st of December.
Yeah, by the time this, even though it's not technically New Year's right now, Happy New Year, because by the time this
Yeah,
is
sure. Happy New Year, guys.
Audible for
Totally
the-
forgot about that.
available for the public at large, it'll have been New Year's.
Yeah, pretty much. What are your plans except Mario Party?
8-player Smash.
Ah, lovely.
8-player Smash, Mario Party, and Intoxication.
I'm gonna take that last one as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add in pork
Might I
chops.
recommend Jackbox?
All right, but it's sure. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we've been playing and watching. It's been kind of a slow week, so
Oh
like
yeah, it's slow too.
news is kind of. We're gonna well, on the bright side, since there's so little news, we can actually. Since there's so little news, we can actually discuss this news more in depth if it warrants it.
Sure, let's go. What's
First
happening?
Things first, the free games for Xbox and PlayStation.
All right, what are they?
PlayStation's getting. I forgot. I should probably.
Steep. One of them is Steep.
Steep, yes, Steep. Steep is going to be played by more than 5 people now.
All right then.
Like-
I've always wanted to play it, but just haven't got around.
Yeah, it's like a game I really wanted to check out, but I didn't ever want to spend money on.
Yeah, I've never cared too much for.
I mean, this list is pretty good. If you have a PS3, you get Zone of the Enders HD and fun game, and Amplitude, which is a really good rhythm game. PSP players get some alright games.
What's the second PS4 game?
Portal Knights, it's a pretty okay. You can spend 5 minutes with it, have fun, and then never touch it again kind of game.
Sure, as long as it's free. What about Xbox?
Xbox gets the better end of the deal, even though like one of its games is not really good. The WRC6 FIA World Rally Championship. It's a rally game that's by all
Sure.
accounts not dirt, so it's not going to be good.
All right.
On the other hand, one of the best games of 2018 is on the Xbox One's Games with Gold. Celeste.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Celeste is going to be free.
Oh yeah, you guys should definitely play Celeste.
Celeste is free for Xbox One gamers.
It's a
Exactly.
great game,
Really
lovely
fucking good game.
platformer,
Yeah.
great music, and a great take on depression.
Great
The
take on
personification of depression. We talked about it in our Game of the Year
We did.
podcast as well.
It's really, really fucking
Yeah,
good.
if you haven't played it, you should definitely
Celeste
check it
is
out.
really fucking good. And Xbox Game will also get some 360 games through backwards compatibility. And they're pretty good games.
What's that?
Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, which is, you played Temple
Oh,
of Osiris
yeah.
with me.
I like those.
Guardian of Light is the first game, and that's only 2 players, but it's still really fucking good.
Yeah, fun puzzle games.
Yeah, and Far Cry 2, which is like kind of Far Cry is very different now from back
Yeah.
then. Like there's a vast difference between Far Cry 2 and 3. Like 3 is where it started taking on.
And
the
there's
more
a
fun.
vast difference between 3 and 4.
Sure. Far Cry 2 is where the fire tech really came into its own. And
Yeah.
like we barely talk about Far Cry's fire anymore, but because it's become so ubiquitous to have good fire in video games. But Far Cry 2 was the one that originated it. It had some really good ideas with the whole idea of concept of everything around you decaying all the time. Like your guns would keep going bad, you
That's
had
true.
malaria, fire would destroy everything, that kind of stuff. It's marred by some issues, but it's definitely worth a visit to just look at the history of the series.
It's fun to see how far Far Cry has come.
Yeah, and
Maybe
so
go
an
and check
interesting
that
look
out.
at like the series history in general, I'd say, like because Far Cry these days is like one of Ubisoft's tentpole games.
Alright, that's it for free games for January.
Yeah,
What's next?
Persona 5R is a thing that's happening.
I have no idea what that is.
No one does, honestly.
Oh.
The trailer that Atlas revealed for Persona 5R is just the protagonist of Persona 5 saying, "Hey guys, it's been a great year for us. We're going to be doing something next year."
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so
So it's like a new game plus.
going by earlier Persona games, Persona 3 had its campaign and then a re-release that had something called The Answer, which is basically a continuation of the campaign. But since the
Alright.
main protagonist died at the end of the campaign, you played the second protagonist kind of thing, a robot named Igus, and it was actually a really insanely well-written epilogue to the whole game. With absurdly harder combat and all that stuff is fine, but the writing was just fantastic.
Alright then.
Persona 4 got Golden.
Okay.
Which is it is actually more of a re-release on the Vita. With instead of having an epilogue, it added more things in the middle of the game, which is again really good. It added a new character, some new social links, and a completely new way to get personas and all that stuff. It was really good. 5R is kind of a weird one because the Persona 5 ending, though not excellent, like despite the whole overall story being really good, the ending was kind of a letdown, but it doesn't really leave much room for anything to happen beyond that.
So I've never played any Persona. I don't. But could it be something like G rank from Monster Hunter World?
Not really, because
from Monster Hunter series.
Persona
rather.
games, the whole idea of Persona games is like you're playing one full school year. So the character's school year is definitely over by the time you finish the game. So like, and they go back to.
So, but
living
is there
normal.
any scope of like a new game plus?
I don't think so. Persona games have never been around those. Like the core gameplay, while still pretty good, especially if you're a fan of JRPGs, have never been the focus of those games. The focus has more been around the interactions you have with your with all the other NPCs and the motivations of the villains and all that stuff.
All right, I
It's
guess.
kind of
we-
weird. Like we really don't know. I think a big theory going around right now is that maybe it's a kind of
Summer break.
port.
A port
Yes, maybe.
to what?
A lot of considering the first Smash Brothers DLC is Joker from Persona 5.
Yeah.
A lot of theories have popped up around like we could see Persona 5 on the Switch, which would be fantastic. That movie could
Sure.
play that game.
All right. What's next?
Well, let's see. Fallout 76 is still bad.
Yep. What do they do now?
And I think now it's just really bad. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice got an ESRB rating, which kind of gives us an idea of what the tone of that game will be.
Okay.
It's not the higher ones out there. It's M17 plus.
All right.
It's going to be very violent and brutal.
Yay! Just the way we like it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Like in fact, do you know they had to tone Dark Souls 3 down from the original.
Did they now?
Yeah, they had like one of the bosses. Like some players have gone about like dug through the files and found these unused assets. So like one of the bosses had a child in its arms, and like once you damage the boss a bit, the boss goes ape shit and slams that hand on the ground, and you could still hear the child's sound with every step that boss took. Yeah,
Christ.
that was the From Software's got some pretty messed up stuff in their minds.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, PlayStation Classic is got a price cut already.
Yay! Good.
It's already at half price. Please don't buy it because
Yeah, this is not any
They're
great
not even the
games
best
on
PlayStation
it.
games.
Yeah, it's
There's no Pepsi.
such a
Man.
waste.
Don't get me started.
No Tony Hawk.
Yeah, no Tony Hawk, no Pepsi Man. It's very stupid. Let's see what else is going on in the world of.
Jack Black started
Jack
his
Black,
own YouTube channel for gaming.
Yep. That's gonna be weird. He's got a good, he's got an electric personality. He's got a very electric personality, so I want to see what he can do. He's a fun guy.
Everybody loves Jack Black.
Yeah, he's been involved in the marketing side of gaming for a while. Like he was one of the first hosts for the Game Awards back when they were called the VGAs and all that.
Should be interesting to see what he does.
He voiced the protagonist of Brutal Legend.
Oh yeah. Any idea when he's planning to launch the channel?
I think he's already got a video out. I just never got around to checking it out.
You should check it out then.
But well, that's it for the international news. Locally, DreamHack happened.
Oh yeah.
Last weekend.
Your favorite
A
event.
couple of weekends ago. Last weekend. It was a really bad event.
Okay, so tell me about it, Shonal. You've had some issues with DreamHack.
Yeah, I wrote an opinion piece about it. It's
Yes, you
really,
did.
really dumb.
You want to summarize it?
The event was hosted shoddily. There were severe problems that should never have happened, especially an event that has the name of DreamHack attached to it, considering it's a global fucking event. Internet problems. Like you have to pay $5,000 at least to be able to take part in the bring your own computer thing, and they couldn't fucking figure out redundancy plans.
And apparently somebody from the management side also put out a
the management side, like basically the dude was a guy from Gigabyte. He put out a whole Facebook post about how the event wasn't a failure, and he said some dumb shit. He's taken down his post at this point, but he said some really dumb shit. He even tried to get us to take his quote off the article, but yeah. It was a really bad event.
Apparently there were also borderline illegal.
No, full on illegal. Nothing borderline about it.
Okay.
Yeah, they had these constructed arcade machines which had the retro gaming zone where you could participate in contests to set the high score in these old ass games. And
Like what?
Tetris and Bomberman, that kind of stuff. And that's like one of the first things that caught my eye because I love me some old ass arcade games.
Sure, and they were all on emulators.
Yeah, you could clearly see the 76001 label like while they were picking games, and the joysticks were bad, and we snuck a look into the back of the arcade cabinet, and it was running off of a specially made board.
Eesh.
Full on illegal. Like in fact, Gadgets 360 got asked the organizers, Nordwind Gaming, about it, and they gave some answers that were also pretty stupid, like flagrantly, blatantly either misunderstanding the law or choosing to interpret it in the wrong way by saying this said stuff like they're using open source emulators, which doesn't matter. The ROMs aren't open source. Emulators can be open source all they want, but the games themselves aren't open source. And Nintendo's like famously litigious about the ROMs these days, especially. You remember the whole EMU Paradise getting shut down?
Yes, I do.
It was all pretty stupid. Like there's also a quote where he said that Akshat Rathi, of the head of Nordwind, said that they asked for permission, but they never heard back, so they just assumed it was okay. Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty fucking stupid. The whole thing was pretty dumb.
Yeah, I don't think that's how permission works.
That's not how permission works, especially like when you're charging people for entry.
Exactly.
Pretty fucking dumb. The whole event was dumb as hell. I mean, if you're a fan of esports, sure, it's fine, but like, for anyone else, it's not really. Like even the cosplay contest was dumb because there were like 6 contestants.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Okay, if you want to read more about DreamHack 2018, we've got an opinion piece on our website written by Shunal, which goes way more in detail.
Yeah. And like, again, if we find more details out, we'll obviously be...
Sure, as and when we will upload them.
And I think
Anything else happening?
Lion King has... Disney's trademarked the phrase Hakuna Matata.
Oh, God damn it.
People are not happy about it, rightfully so. It's not even their phrase to say, it's an actual popular saying from before the Lion King.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
No worries for the rest of your day, come on.
Yeah, actually something like that.
Keep up, that's the whole song.
No. Yeah, I mean, Zimbabwean activists have started a change.org petition to like let them to get them to loosen the trademark. I mean, as good as petitions,
as good as change.org is, it is quite...
petitions are stupid. They achieve nothing. I'll say this.
Yeah, I just like to tell people putting up anything on change.org does not mean
Guarantees
anything.
zero change.
Yes.
But it's a popular, actually an in-use popular Swahili phrase. And the fact that Disney is copyrighted is kind of dumb.
Yeah. Also, they released some news that it will that the live action version will not be a scene-to-scene copy of the original,
Which is fine.
which is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Cool.
Anything else?
Let me just quickly scroll through this. Kojima
Oh yes.
saw some movies in 2018 and posted a list about his favorite movies, and it's kind of a cool list as it is.
But I think the highlight of this is
The
different.
most interesting thing is that an Indian movie made a list.
Dangal.
Dangal, yeah. I have not seen the movie.
Amir
so I'm
Khan's
happy to
Dangal.
see
No, I've heard great things about it, but I've not seen it
it. Yeah, I've
either.
never seen it, but hey, it's got some of my favorites like Mission Impossible Fallout.
Bad Genius, Brigsby Bear,
Paddington
Wind
2.
River, Mother, You Were Never Really Here, Coco, The Annihilation,
Coco's really good.
City of Ghosts, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Raw, Dangal, In the Fade, and Paddington 2.
Yeah.
Alright, that's a very weird list.
Kojima has historically had an interesting taste in movies, and normally, in normal circumstances, actually, I like a lot of the movies that he tends to reference in his games.
Sure.
The most famous one being The Escape.
Of course.
I think Pliskin. But yeah, that's pretty cool because Kojima's got some weird ideas about what video games should be.
Kojima just got some weird ideas.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
just leave
got,
it at
the
that.
man has some weird fucking ideas.
Alright then, I guess that does it. Still not much news out there, but we will keep you posted.
Hey, like there's this one thing which
What?
I care about. Halo Infinite
Confirm that they're gonna have 4-player split screen.
That's pretty fucking awesome, man. Like
That's great for
not
people
enough
with
games
big
have-
TVs,
not
yeah.
enough games have local multiplayer these days, let alone split screen. Like, and Halo got away from that. Like Halo 5 didn't have local split screen, which was like one of the biggest problems with that game, aside from the garbage campaign and the whole idea of aim down sights. I don't think suits Halo.
So are they gonna go with aim down sights for Infinite?
I hope not, honestly, because I don't think that's a Halo thing. That's just chasing trends. Like,
Alright
it's what
then.
Call of Duty does or Destiny does, which I hope they don't do. But the split screen, that's what I'm interested in, because in Halo 5, you played 2 distinct protagonists, like with each protagonist having like his squad of 3 other soldiers. So you could theoretically play that game completely co-op, but online.
Alright.
So this will be cool that like you can actually have 3 friends over and play through this stuff.
Oh, one last thing. Monster Hunter World is getting an Assassin's Creed update.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What is happening? Everyone's jumping onto the Monster Hunter bandwagon.
and rightfully so. It's the biggest selling
Most
Capcom
definitely.
game.
Any idea? Any details about that?
It's some costumes. It's there till like I think as long as.
So it's the same as the Aloy stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like it's going to be there for a limited time, and once it's out, it'll probably
Okay,
eventually.
whose
cycle
costume
back.
is it?
A lot of different assassins, because the trailer shows Bayek's outfit. It shows Ezio's outfit. It shows the Fry's outfit.
Fry. Yeah, the
The
Fry.
Fry's outfits. Let's see.
Alright then. Shunal, I'm going to try and end this for the 3rd time. Are you sure there's no more news?
Give me a second. Why don't you talk about
About what?
State of Decay for a bit?
We talked about it. It's great. It's fun.
You should watch more anime, Basman.
I sure. Right?
We'll start an anime podcast so that you
Speaking of anime,
supposed to watch more anime.
Midoriya's coming to Jump Force.
We're not getting that game in this country
That's true. God damn
because
it.
of dumb copyright issues. Will Smith as Genie, we already talked about this.
I think we're done.
I think we're done, yeah.
Alright, guys, that's it for 2018.
Well, at start of 2000. Okay, you know what? I have a nice way of ending this podcast.
you tell me.
Let's talk about some games, like, take a few minutes to talk about some games we're really looking forward to in 2019.
Sure. I'm gonna let you start because you're gonna talk about remake.
It's obviously a remake 2. Resident Evil 2. I'm really excited for Resident Evil 2's remake.
I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 11.
That's
Man, that reveal was amazing.
It was a really good reveal.
I remember both of us were
Played
watching.
with your emotions.
Yes, it really did. Ed Boon comes on to announce some goddamn
Yeah.
nominations. Like he walks on, I'm like, oh my god, Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat 11. And he's like, the nominations for blah, 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 are
Suddenly the glass breaks and Austin, no, not Stone Cold
not
Steve
Austin. Like,
Scorpion.
lightning starts, like everything goes black and lightning starts, and that's when you knew it. And chills, Shunal, chills.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Mortal Kombat, but I appreciate that series.
Of course.
I like what it does for the world.
Of course it does. It introduced us to blood and gore.
Yeah. And what else are you looking forward to?
I'm cautiously optimistic about Anthem.
Anthem? Yeah, I think I'm much in the same boat. I think this is going to be BioWare's kind of last chance at not fucking things up.
Last ditched effort.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a Hail Mary shot for them.
Yeah, but they also have another game coming.
They've
out.
announced Dragon Age.
Yeah.
But then like Inquisition was okay, 2 was bad, 1 was years ago, so I don't think it's the same BioWare anymore in fact.
I guess we'll see. You think they're already working on Dragon Age or they've got everyone?
I mean, I think it's all hands on deck with Anthem right now. Once that's out, they'll have like a team working on post-release content for Anthem and another team.
That game, from whatever gameplay we've seen, looks really, really good.
It looks gorgeous. I think it's running on Frostbite, right? So that engine looks fantastic. And I think that it'll play well because that engine is made for shooters.
So what I like is it has a verticality to it as well.
There's swimming and flying and stuff, right?
Yes.
That's going to be pretty cool.
And what I really like about it is the swimming is like flying.
Yeah, they're not like fucking
Oh,
around
there's
with,
no slow motion bullshit.
oxygen meters and all
yes,
that shit.
you just zoom through the water.
There's Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Of course,
I'm very excited for that. Iceborne is going to be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, of course. Iceborne, totally forgot about that.
I think the Nintendo Switch is going to be pretty interesting to look at in this.
So the second year was all about the indie games.
Yeah, all our third.
They didn't have
they had 2 big tentpole releases, which obviously sold them a lot of Switches and copies: Mario Party and Smash Brothers.
They did. They technically had a third, which didn't work out too well.
Mario Tennis. Yeah.
Mario Tennis. Yeah.
And I was really excited for that game too. But
Yeah, it looked very interesting, but
I like the demo a lot. But it's just that there's not much single player stuff.
yeah,
there,
and it apparently got very repetitive.
I mean, it's tennis.
Yeah. Oh well.
I think, but yeah, I think this third year is going to be pretty interesting because we're probably going to have a mainline Pokemon game out on the
Oh yeah,
console.
and that's gonna kill it, obviously.
It's gonna Let's Go killed it. So
Yes. A mainline Pokemon game is gonna break records. let's
definitely,
face it.
it's gonna sell more Switches than ever. It's gonna break
Yeah.
records. It'll have some weird integration with Pokemon
Yes,
Go.
Pokemon has transcended video games.
Yeah, Pokemon's this weird thing that's like just everything now. It's not even just video games or just anime or anything. Then we have there'll be a new Animal Crossing, which will be pretty cool. I like those games. There'll be a new Metroid, probably. I hope, please, this year.
Let's see.
Bayonetta 3, I think is going to be either late 2019 or early 2020.
Was there an announcement?
Yeah, Bayonetta 3 was announced last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Forgot
last year as in 2017, in fact.
All right then.
Yeah, I think that's about it for the first.
First podcast of the year, guys.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to 2019. 2017 and 18 have been fantastic years
Phenomenal
for gaming.
years. Like 17 had big open world. Like 17 had the evolution of open worlds. 18 had amazing tight gameplay.
Oh
filled
hell
games.
yeah!
I want to see what 19 does.
Hopefully 19 can better it. I remember in 17 we were saying that there's no way 18 can top it, and I think 18 topped it.
Yeah, Into the Breach and that's also pretty fucking good.
Yeah, Monster Hunter,
Yeah, Monster Hunter Tetris Effect. No,
Spider-Man,
Monster Hunter.
God of War, all of that.
Okay, yeah, we've already covered this in our podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions, questions, insults, please send them to what's our email ID?
IGN at forkmedia.in.
IGN@forkmedia.in.
FRKMEDIA.
.in. All right, guys, thanks for listening and goodbye.
And Happy New Year.